to On a Roll, the podcast that makes up a variety of topics. My name's Kerwin Brown, and today I'm with Kevin Sandefur. He is Vice President of Supply Chain Strategy and Engineering at Hostess.
Well done.
So, yay. So, Kevin is a Kansas City guy, so and has been at Hostess for a little while. So, but we're going to start off with kind of a fun little, select what you like kind of thing. So cookies or brownies?
Cookies.
Okay. Bagels or croissants?
Ooh. Probably croissants.
Okay. Sweet or savory? Are you, when you have a craving?
Savory.
Okay. So, and then
oddly enough.
I know. You always have something to go to, though, if you need a snack. So, and then being a Kansas City guy, we're in Kansas City. Chiefs going back to the Super Bowl or not? Yay or nay?
As a fan, you have to say yes.
You got it. You got to say yes. So, and do you have a favorite sort of snack? I always kind of like to ask, like, you've been out of town for 2 weeks and you come back to Kansas City. What do you crave?
Well, some home cooking, probably more than anything.
Yeah.
Barbecue.
Right.
Is always on the list. But that's
definitely the barbecue. So, a lot of us where we are in a career now, if you look back when we were in college or high school, we never thought we were probably going to be where we are. And KU guy, you, funny enough, went to high school right across the street from our office, and then went to KU and we're a finance guy. So you're maybe not doing a ton of finance now. So kind of tell us about sort of how you got to Hostess.
Sure, yeah. Well, thanks for having me.
Yeah.
First. Like most career paths or many career paths, it's not really a straight shot.
Right.
So I was doing work for turnaround and restructuring consultancy practice, and was out on the West Coast for a while, and then moved to Chicago with my wife. And as I moved to Chicago, started getting involved in more manufacturing related businesses, and just coincidentally was fortunate enough to get staffed on, the Hostess bankruptcy in 2012, and that provided an opportunity to come home and do some work, but that was also really the first big introduction for me into the food industry, and I'm really thankful for that.
Right.
So we went through advising the estate through the bankruptcy proceedings, and was a tough outcome, but was fortunate enough that me and a few of my other counterparts at the company I was with came over and was able to jumpstart the finance organization with the new company that came out of bankruptcy, the Hostess Brands, that was purchased by private equity.
Right.
And, in that time, I was really grateful to be a contributor to really refounding the business, but it was a startup, and so people wore a lot of different hats. I was doing supply chain finance at the time, but was really working closely with our manufacturing leadership, really working closely with our planning leadership within the supply chain, and kind of just slowly, started making my way over to, supporting them in a non-financial capacity, and really haven't turned back, and so I've just kind of have a finance foundation, but really thankful that I had the opportunity to contribute to the business, through the supply chain and manufacturing.
I think there's something, if you like manufacturing and there's just something physical about it. You guys are making a product, and of course it's bringing joy to people, but I think there's something, I've been in manufacturing a long time, and people get in it, they get in manufacturing, they get in food, and they get in baking, and there is this love of that, and doing that, putting that out, and making people happy with what you make.
And they're fun products.
They're really fun products. So you have something. I read something about you. It said Hostess. It says bring moments of joy, and so that you can't be all bad to make things that bring joy. So I like to ask sort of either a funny situation or worst situation or whatever. Can you tell us a couple of stories about sort of that have happened along the way? Funny, sad, whatever that might apply.
Yeah, I'll maybe share two if I could.
Sure.
One is a situation that's really given me perspective. It isn't really fun isn't really sad, isn't bad, isn't good. It's just a situation that really influenced me, you know, particularly in the sector we're in with the food industry, and had an opportunity in a unique situation where had to work on a production line for 2 days straight. And many of our employees do that. Many of, you know, BEMA's stakeholders do, you know, employees do that. But it gave a completely different perspective working for 8 hours straight, 10 hours straight on a line, rather than just watching it for 15 minutes or 10 minutes. And that really has shaped my perspective on, you know, managing and helping influence our strategy within our supply chain and manufacturing organization for how we design for, among many things, our employees. And you know, that perspective, you know, percolates down through a lot of our thinking now, and I'm thankful for that opportunity for it.
Do you think you'll do it again?
You know, not necessarily by choice, but you know, I wouldn't trade having the opportunity.
What a great opportunity. So
and maybe a fun one, you know, early on, you know, I mentioned kind of Hostess was, you know, a little bit of a startup. You know, a funny one was when you know, we were trying to create a program where we could bring customized display solutions to our customers. And we were just trying to figure it out and work through the complexities of how would we do that from a systems perspective, how would we execute it, you know, what's the simplest way to offer that flexibility to customers. You know, we're in an impulsive category, so you know, finding display solutions is really, you know, core to our business. And you know, word got out that we were in the supply chain kind of trying to figure this out, and you know, not a couple days later, we get an email from, you know, our hungry and really passionate sales team members, and you know, basically putting in an order in, you know, via email. And you know, one of my colleagues who I was working with had some colorful words, but you know, basically said, you know, you can't just say abracadabra and you get exactly what you want. And even though that was the mindset, and it was a hilarious experience with, you know, the way that message and response was delivered. But it was also important because it then connected back the sales organization deeper into the supply chain. In a weird way, it kind of bridged a spirit of partnership. To help us. We got to collaborate to make these things.
Collaborate and quick.
You
get. I mean, you guys over the last, since y'all started back up, there's so many different flavors, and y'all really pressed into that. So I mean, things come up, and you do it, and you try it, and it works or doesn't work. So I guess that speed is really important. So speaking of different flavors, our team went out and bought a variety of your cake products. And so, we're just going to grab one, eat it real quick, and then we have a display of what these are, and we're going to match them up to what they are. So
I shut.
Yeah. Well, you can. Yeah. Maybe you can. I don't know. We'll make it up. So, we'll say our mark is it, and we have to choose the same one. So ready, go. I saw it. So golden, which I've never had before.
I know our products a little too well.
You probably do. All right, we're going to try this red thing. I'm not a coconut fan, but I'm trying it. I've never had a zinger. What do you think about the zinger?
You know, I haven't had a raspberry zinger in a really long time. I like it better than I thought I would.
And you're probably going to go back to it. Another product I have not had is whatever this is.
Lemon cupcake.
I'm not a coconut fan. The zinger is still there. I'm having to get through it. Oh. I'm a big lemon fan. Yeah, we need to drink something. This is fast. This is not an eating contest. Maybe we should have only done 3 or 4. I'm going back for the lemon. Are you a lemon fan?
I love it.
I love those. That's really good. Okay, here we go. Baby Bunts. Again, a lemon. A little more gentle maybe than the... I think I like those even more than the cupcakes.
I do too. The lemon hits you harder on the cupcake, I think. But
yeah.
I like the baby bun better.
Those are nice. Okay, going to red. Do you know if this is a fairly new product for y'all? Strawberry cheesecake.
It's a little over a year old.
I won't challenge you with all the start dates of all your different products. And do you know what your first product was? This one right here. We left it till the end. The old cupcake.
Yeah, we just celebrated its 100-year birthday.
Oh my gosh.
2 years ago.
Not
maybe?
this actual one, but no.
Not
it's good.
that.
Yeah. It's good. That's a nice way
It's
to end.
still soft.
Oh, yeah, still soft. Very nice. Do you have a favorite of those 6 we just ate?
I like the golden cupcake the best. But ultimately, out of all of our products, our
Right.
coffee cakes,
Really good. I'm sorry I didn't jump into the coffee cake. I was going to ask about, you make this progress, and maybe either you're telling your kids or telling somebody young in the business, or running back to your 18-year-old Kevin self and saying, looking back, what kind of advice would you give somebody in the industry or starting out in the industry today?
Well, I don't think this is specific to our industry
Right.
in any way, but I think being open to opportunities and having an open mind to where your career path might take you,
Right.
despite your, and I've lived this through my
Right.
career, but seizing those opportunities, particularly early in your career,
Right.
before at some point your career kind of sets its,
Right.
there's some boundaries, I suppose, but
Right.
being earlier in your career, being open to those opportunities and kind of letting yourself experience is I think really important. The other thing, and this might be personality for me, but having a bias to action in your work, right?
Oh.
And I think is really important. And it's easy to sometimes be hesitant to make decisions or get
Right.
paralyzed, but being biased towards action, and it's maybe been the businesses I've been in and the work
Right.
I've done, but that's I think been really important for me personally. And
Does that just help you with sharpen your decision making, or just what do you think it helped in that side?
I think it's just important to recognize that you're not going to get every decision right.
Right.
But being decisive and having, being action oriented is what
Right.
drives business forward.
Right.
And
Yeah.
so
I agree.
I think it's important.
It's more than just sitting around doing emails. So
Right,
that
right.
action side of things. And then last question, just from a legacy standpoint. So you spend some time, or your restaurant, whatever, at Hostess. Kind of what would you like to be known for?
That's a tough one. Ultimately, I view if I've done good work at Hostess,
Right.
It probably don't need to be known for anything, right? That the work I've done carries on, and
Right.
and it's ingrained in the business and wasn't specific, to me.
Right.
But hopefully it's, in my role, collaboration is key, and so and that's really what allows us to be successful. So I would hope that people viewed me as a strong collaborator.
Right. That's good. So, all right. Well, thanks, Kevin. Thanks for hanging out with us for a little while, for eating some product with you. That was definitely worth it. I definitely enjoyed that. So, hope to see you again soon. Thanks for tuning in to On a Roll.
Thanks, everyone.